Fucking nothing works. So I've been online half an hour, if you, not really, but. Waiting for you to enter my life, to fulfill my dreams. Motherfucker. Oh, frustration. I'm not frustrated. I'm just waiting on this spliff a lot longer than I wanted to, that's all. Alright, so since the spliff is already fucking rolled, and then we'll get to the news. Fuck it.
Hello, and welcome to Toronto Public Library's Stylo Story.
Ooh,
Please listen carefully. If you wish to hear a story for younger children, press 1. If you wish to hear a story for older children, press 2.
My phone will only store like 20 digits, so I can't put enough pauses.
Otherwise, hold for a story for younger children. Or to return to the previous menu, press star.
Uh-oh, shit. What did I just do? Gotta fix this while it's still burning.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Hélène. Je vais vous raconter une histoire, Plaisir d'animaux, écrit et illustré par Roger Paré et publié aux éditions La Courte Échelle, Montréal. Sortis de leur cachette, un patin à roulettes, les animaux s'en vont avec leurs 2 oursons. Sur sa balançoire, même dans le noir, petite souris Lily fait des acrobaties. Très bien assis, avec ses amis, un gros ours blanc rêve en mangeant. 3 crocodiles s'en vont en ville avec un grand boa au bout des bras.
Je n'aime pas rêve
Rhino est paresseux
à manger.
et il a l'air heureux. Et il se fait porter pour aller se baigner. Pour Souris Lily et pour ses amis, Orignal Terminus est un bel autobus. Des bing bang bang partout. Les castors sont chez nous. Ils coupent, ils scient, ils clouent et font une maison pour nous. On s'en va sur l'eau les beaux matins chauds pour se promener toute la journée. Sur une échelle, il faut grimper pour dire bonjour.
This story sucks.
Une petite lumière qui brille.
We're gonna try that again, but I want to go to fucking speaker. What the fuck, man? Why is everything fucking acting up today, man? This is why I don't just jump into doing anything important, ever. What the fuck's the point? If I can't make the stupid telephone work, how am I gonna make the radio and the internet work? Motherfucker, holy
Hello,
fuck.
and welcome to Toronto Public Library's Stylo Story. Please listen carefully.
Uh-oh.
If you wish to...
Let's try this story.
Le veau vendit 3 fois. Cric, crac, les enfants. Parli, parlo, parlons. Sacatabi, sacataba. À la porte,
Start over.
qui ne m'écoute pas. Il y avait une fois un habitant nommé Tipol. Il était pauvre. si pauvre qu'un jour il se trouve sans autre ressource qu'un veau. Chargeant l'animal sur son dos, il marche le long de la route quand il rencontre le médecin du village. « Bonjour, dit Paul, où vas-tu? Moi, je vais vendre mon veau. » Alors, répond le docteur, pas besoin d'aller au marché. Vends-le-moi ton veau. Voilà, je te donne 50 piastres. Peux-tu le livrer chez moi? Je suis pressé, je dois aller voir mes malades.
Plus le mal à la tête.
Et Paul empoche l'argent. Le veau attaché à son cou, il poursuit son chemin. Bientôt, il aperçoit le maître d'école qui s'approche de lui. « Ça va, dit Paul? Où vas-tu aujourd'hui? »« Je vais vendre mon veau, répond l'habitant. »« Mais moi, j'aurais besoin d'un veau, exclame le maître. Écoute, je te paie 50 piastres. Les voilà. Et tu peux emmener la bête à ma grange tout de suite. Je pars. Mes élèves m'attendent. » Encore une fois, Paul met le prix de son veau dans sa poche et reprend sa route. Avant peu, il croise le curé. « Bonjour, dit Paul. Où vas-tu par un matin si beau? »« Bonjour, monsieur le curé. Je compte vendre mon veau. »« Pas de besoin, dit Paul. Tu me le vendras et je te ferai un bon prix. 50 piastres. Voilà, le marché est conclu.
50
Alors,
piastres.
je dois dire une messe. Pourrais-tu le rendre au presbytère? Ma femme de ménage, elle s'en occupera. » Le curé parti, Paul continue sa promenade jusqu'à une taverne au bord de la route. Attachant son veau à un piquet près de la porte, il y entre, les 3 fois 50 piastres comme un poids brûlant dans sa poche. 4 heures plus tard, ayant dépensé tout son argent, Paul quitte la taverne. Mais le veau n'est plus là. Les cordes qui le liaient au piquet sont rompues. Évidemment, le pauvre animal, las d'attendre son maître, avait pris la poudre d'escampette. Paul ne s'inquiète point, il rentre chez lui.
Sealed with the
Le
resin.
soir, le médecin, le maître d'école et le curé lui rendent visite. « Où sont les veaux que tu nous as vendus? »« Il n'y a qu'un veau, répondit Paul, que j'ai vendu 3 fois, mais il s'est sauvé, je ne l'ai plus. »« Tricheur, tu essayais de nous voler. Rends-nous notre argent. »« Impossible, dit Paul.
Rends-moi mon argent.
La taverne. » Les 3 mécontents s'en vont, disant « Tu vas le regretter. » Le lendemain, Paul reçoit une assignation. Il est appelé à comparaître en justice dans 8 jours, accusé de vol. L'habitant décide de chercher l'aide d'un avocat. Il y en a un au village, un monsieur qui, malheureusement, est un bon ami du médecin, du maître et du curé. Alors, Paul choisit l'avocat d'un bourg pas trop loin. Il lui confie son problème. Rien qu'une chose à faire, lui conseille l'homme de la loi. Les fous ne sont pas mis en prison, donc il faut simuler la folie. Quand le juge te parle, ne dis rien que comme un animal, quoi. Je serai là à ton côté comme souffleur. Une semaine plus tard, Paul, accompagné par son avocat, se présente devant le juge. Ce dernier lui pose la question. « Paul, selon l'accusation, la semaine passée, tu as reçu $50 du médecin pour un veau que tu ne lui as pas livré, est-ce vrai? » Paul sent un coup de coude léger de son avocat. Il commence à faire Le juge, perplexe, continue. Tu es accusé aussi, Paul, d'avoir escroqué le maître et le curé de $50 chacun. Est-ce vrai ou non? Encore une fois, l'avocat pousse Paul du coude. Crie-t-il. Entrant en jeu, Paul roule les yeux, se met à 4 pattes et gambade tout autour de la cour, à l'ahurissement des spectateurs. « Assez, assez !» exclame le juge. « Ce pauvre habitant est fou. Paul est acquitté, raison de folie. » Bientôt, la salle commence à se vider. L'avocat félicite son client. « Excellent, dit Paul, tu as bien réussi le coup. Il ne me reste qu'à te présenter les honoraires pour mes services. $100. » Répond Tipoul. Ah oui, tu le sais bien, Tipoul, mais c'est fini, tout le monde est parti maintenant. Écoute, tu me dois 100 piastres. Répète Tipoul. Tricheur, hurle l'avocat. Tu es aussi sain que moi. Rends-moi les 100 piastres. Tremblant de colère, il saisit Tipoul au collet. Monsieur, interpelle un agent de police. Que faites-vous? Ce pauvre fou a été acquitté. Je vous ordonne de le laisser partir en paix. Et Tipoul reprend la route de retour, un homme libre. Sakataba, Sakatabi, le conte est fini. Et si ce conte t'a plu, pourquoi pas visiter ta bibliothèque de quartier pour en entendre davantage? S'il te plaît, raccroche maintenant pour que d'autres personnes
Although if
puissent
you take the
suivre.
ramp to Derry, it's an easy jog east over to Tompkin Road.
Easy jog.
You
These
can
people
take
don't
that
jog.
up
They're
to
driving
as far as you like, but at
SUVs.
least Steeles, and then you can rejoin the 410 northbound and feel pretty good about
Go to
doing
the
it too,
exercise
because you'll
club
avoid
where the
that really
treadmill has
heavy
a
jam
motor
up
on
the
it.
410
What the
northbound.
fuck?
I wouldn't take Kennedy Road just to the west. It appears to be an issue at First Gulf Boulevard, which is just approaching Steeles. And it's either an issue there or just increased traffic trying to avoid the 410, but it's slow on Kennedy, not so on Tompkin. If you're traveling the eastbound 401, a new problem east of Kiel in the Express. Right lane is blocked with a collision. We have crews there. Heavy through this entire stretch from Dixon to Victoria Park in the Express and to east of Kennedy in the Collectors. And still there is at Victoria Park in the Express, still a vehicle on the shoulder there. That's not helping the volume. West 401, just volume delays. 400 Express and Collectors to Dixon and approaching here Ontario Express and Collectors to west of Mavis. North Don Valley out of downtown slows Don Mills to the 401 and 404 delays 407 to north of 16th Avenue. Westbound Gardner is still slow from Cherry to west of Strawn. Get the latest news affecting our community every night on City News at 6 and 11, only on City TV. Your next report at 7-Eleven, and with the forecast, here's Denise
My
Andrea.
next report is at 7-Eleven. How did he know?
Flurries, possibly some freezing drizzle still lingering across the GTA and the northeastern edge through the higher elevations. Fog patches also this evening and overnight. Wind chill of -8 through the overnight. A mainly cloudy day tomorrow with the chance of some flurries or rain showers. A high near +3. Your overnight low tonight -3. Downtown Toronto mostly overcast and 2 degrees. 680 News Time 7:03.
We begin tonight with an investigation underway in Brampton after a woman was found dead in the
Is that the
house fire
top
near
story,
Jacuzzi
man?
and Beauvert.
680's Phil Martino joins us live from the scene with the latest. Phil. Well, so Jana, there's still a lot of emergency crews here on scene on Fireside Drive. The chief, Brampton Fire Chief Bill Boy, says that someone made a 911 call just after 3 p.m. about a house fire here.
We found upon entry a fire on the main floor that was quickly extinguished. At the same time, we found a deceased adult female patient.
Cause of death is still unknown,
Patient.
and there was no one else in the home at the time. Now,
Deceased
this woman
patient.
lives in the neighborhood. Do you know who lives in the home?
No, I don't know. I just know when I brought the kids home after school, the whole area smelled like someone was burning firewood.
Now, the home, it's a 2-story home. It's still unknown how much damage was caused. The Ontario Fire Marshal has been called in to investigate. Reporting live from Brampton, Phil Martino, 680 News.
680 News Time 7:04. The Pickering nuclear plant, which was the subject, of course, of that botched emergency alert over the weekend, will reportedly be operating past its scheduled 2024 closure date.
No shit.
680's Karen Seolan joins us live with that. Karen.
James, the Toronto Star is reporting Pickering's nuclear power station will operate until at least 2025. Now, the previous Liberal government had announced 4 years ago the station would go offline in 2024. But the Star report says the Ford government quietly approved the extension late last year. Now, a new poll released today has found 77% of Canadians are concerned about living close to nuclear plants. This comes after an emergency alert about an incident at the Pickering station was sent out this weekend by mistake. Solicitor General Sylvia Jones says an investigation into the false alarm will be quick.
It's very important for me, for the people of
This is
Ontario
not the top
to
story
know
to me.
exactly what happened on Sunday morning. Having said that, I do not anticipate that this is going to be a long, drawn-out investigation.
Environmentalists have long called for closing the Pickering station because they say it's reached the end of its life. Reporting live, I'm Karen Seolan.
680 News Time 7:05. Update now on last year's fatal New Year's Eve shooting in Malvern. Police say they've arrested 3 people connected to the shooting. All 3 have been charged with first-degree murder and are set to appear in court tomorrow morning. 43-year-old Clinton Williams was shot in an underground parking lot on Wingarden Court at around 6 p.m. December 31st. He died of his injuries in hospital.
All the province's English Catholic school teachers will be putting down the laptops and picking up picket signs next week. They've announced a one-day strike. Here's 6 Cities' Mark Douglas.
It's going to be a province-wide one-day strike by 45,000 English Catholic teachers on Tuesday, January 21st. Even though the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association only began a Work to Rule campaign today, Union President Liz Stewart says they felt there was no choice but to immediately step up to strike action.
Thus far, the government has only been an impediment. Their approach throughout the process has been marked by disorganisation and disrespect. This government views students and publicly funded schools as nothing more than lines on a spreadsheet.
Education Minister Stephen Lecce.
Your students don't know how to fucking do math or fucking read.
5 hours into the union's Work to Rule campaign, adding this one-day strike is going to hurt students. From the downtown Sheridan Centre, I'm Mark.
Well, I've been paying attention. I didn't know this one was happening.
News Time
It's happening
707.
tomorrow.
Several vehicles have been involved in a crash on Highway 7 at Lakeridge
Tuesday.
and Whitby.
Hold on.
OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says there are injuries.
See, I'm
One
getting
party
different
diverted
stories too.
transport
That's
to a
the other
trauma
thing.
center. Other patients that were trapped in the vehicles are currently being extricated and assessed. I don't have updates on their status of their injuries or how
21st,
serious it
whatever.
is, but it does appear to be a serious collision at this time.
The
Next
intersection
week.
has
Okay.
since reopened.
6 City News Time 707. Canada's Transportation Safety Board is sending a second team of investigators to Iran.
It's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday. That's gonna fuck everybody up. We had like 4 strikes in a row on Wednesday.
Canadian investigators will immediately start helping with the probe into this crash, although our full role is still unclear. Iran is the lead on the investigation, and the team will only get the access they're granted. However, Chair of the Transportation Safety Board, Kathy Fox, says Canada has been invited to examine the wreckage and help download data from the black boxes.
Which is not something to which we would normally have access.
The TSB's Director of Air Investigations, Natasha Van Temsch, says while we know the plane was shot
You
down,
got cell
we don't
phones in
know why,
Iran?
and there are many other unanswered questions.
On procedures, for example, being followed by the military.
I could
As
download
well,
that with
why,
this,
was
man,
the
but I don't think you guys
airspace,
could.
not closed?
The investigation could take years to complete, and if the TSB has concerns, they will speak out. Meanwhile, consular officials on
No,
the
they
ground will
won't.
be trying to identify victims and help their families bring their loved ones home. Cormac McSweeney,
Your
Parliament
loved
Hill.
ones got scooped up by a
This portion of the
bulldozer
news
blade
brought
a
to you by
week
Niagara
ago.
Falls View Casino.
They
6
already
News Time
told us that.
708, a Canadian restaurant chain is stepping up fundraising efforts to help those affected by last week's deadly plane crash near Tehran. 6 Cities' Mohamed Qureshi reports.
As the families of the victims try to cope with the unimaginable sorrow of losing their loved ones, Paramount Fine Foods CEO Mohamed Faki is launching the Canada Strong campaign to raise $1.5 million to provide those families with some financial relief.
It's a place to remind us that we really need to be, all of us, sticking together. It's unfair what happened.
Faki himself is donating $30,000 and covering the administrative costs, so 100% of donations go to the families.
Thank you. How hard is it to cover the administrative costs?
Is a signal, is a
March of
tangible
dimes, because 10
demonstration
cents
to
on the
the
dollar
families of the
goes to the
victims of just
fucking
how
end
much in
cause.
solidarity with them we are.
You can find the link to donate at 680news.com.
I didn't hear you, John. You have to say it again.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll take a peek at the pubs.
6 City News Time 709.
When you need to know now.
6citynews.com.
This is a lot of fucking meth. Mississauga man charged after $25 million worth of suspected meth found in truck. Why did I like this? A Mississauga man is facing charges after the Canada Border Services Agency, CBSA, and the RCMP, well, what does RCMP stand for? Seized about 200 kilograms of suspected methamphetamine from a commercial truck. In a joint statement, the CBSA and RCMP said the truck entered Canada through the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor on Christmas Eve 2019 and was sent for secondary examination. During the examination, Border Services officers found 9 containers filled with suspected methamphetamine. I'd say you probably got that. That's what it looks like. The driver of the truck was arrested by CBSA and the suspected narcotics were seized, after which the RCMP took custody of the man and the evidence. The agency say this is The agency say this is the largest methamphetamine seizure on record for the CBSA in the past 7 years. The value of the drugs are estimated at over $25.5 million. So I don't know what the fuck the shit's worth. I did the math. It's like 125, 130 bucks a gram or something. I don't know. Mohammed Ahmed Abdirahman, 36, is charged with importing a controlled substance and possession for the purpose of trafficking. His next scheduled court date is February 3rd in Windsor. And they don't give any details at all about who owned the truck, or what was the company name on the truck, or was it an Ontario truck or a Mexico truck. They don't give no details about that. From his age and his name and where he lives. They said Mississauga, man, so he's probably from there. He's probably just a fucking truck driver. I doubt that he's the kingpin. 36? I don't think so.
Still a major issue. North 410, north of
the guys that are old enough to be in charge are too old to get the fucking Class A license. They won't pass the medical. That's how fucking old they are.
From just north of Courtney Park to north of the 407 where the collision is, you can take the ramp to Courtney Park, or if you pass that, take the ramp to Derry.
They didn't even tell us what else was on the truck.
Just use Tonkin to the east to get up to at least Steeles, then you can rejoin
furniture, TV sets, gear. What the fuck was on the truck?
To avoid this major jam up that's on the 410 northbound and north of Courtney Park to approaching Steeles, where this problem is. The remainder of the highways, by comparison, not bad. We have an issue on the eastbound 401 east of Kiel in the Express. The right lane is blocked here by the collision.
4 weeks ago.
There is still volume from
we find out about it
Dixon
now.
to the 400 ramps, Express and Collectors, and then east of the
they don't want us to know nothing.
Express and Collectors to
and then they have, like, the situation is they eventually have to tell us, because we're going to find out.
401 is not bad across the Toronto area. It's just busy.
So they just time it. They schedule the releases of information.
In the Express to Dixon, and then more volume approaching here, Ontario, and the Collectors
3 weeks ago, there was a robbery. 2 weeks ago, somebody got kidnapped. Why the fuck is the story always a month old?
Delays, but slow through Jameson, but that's pretty well it. You'll find the North Don Valley Parkway still backed up north of Don Mills to the 401. 404 delays Highway 7 to north of 16th Avenue, heading into the Markham area up towards Richmond Hill, where we have an issue off the highways. If you can call it an issue, it's Yonge Street. King Road up towards Bloomington. York Regional Police advising with the candlelight vigil that's going on this evening, heavy traffic along Yonge Street in the north end of Richmond Hill, so maybe take an alternate around that as well. Take winter by storm. Enjoy a $5,000 Audi Quattro credit on 2019 Q7 and a complimentary maintenance package now at AudiQueensway.ca. Your next report at 7:21, and with the forecast, here's Denise Andriacci.
Mostly cloudy tonight, some fog patches developing and could linger into Tuesday morning's drive. We have a slight risk of some scattered flurries, patchy freezing drizzle tonight as well. Very isolated and scattered if we see anything at all. Chance of flurries and even some scattered rain showers again Tuesday with a few sunny breaks and highs near 3 degrees. Chance of flurries Tuesday night, lows near 0. Your overnight low tonight, -3. Downtown Toronto overcast and 2 degrees. 680 news time, 7:13.
One New Jersey family says they got a nasty surprise from Amazon.
The sales family says it was shocked when they got used diapers from Amazon delivery service last week. They say they were given diapers in what appeared to be fecal matter. The Jersey City family buys diapers for their $2 each month from Amazon's warehouse section. It sells open box and returned items at a discounted rate. Amazon inspects and certifies all open box products before it resells them. Amazon says it worked with the family to resolve the issue. Dave Schreiber, ABC News.
What the fuck?
Passengers, Timo Brown speaking here. I need you to return your seat to the upright position and definitely
so you can send boxes of shit through the mail, which is USPS, right? Fucking, you cannot bring in $25 million of meth in one shot. Okay.
Who's really behind the disappearance of Flight 828? And whoa, what happened off screen at the end of last season's finale? So many questions, but the captain has informed me I'm out of time. Manifest, Mondays at 10, 9 Central on City TV.
I'm not going to find another story as
interesting
as that
one. There are as many as 2,000 homeless youth in our city each night. Would you care?
What if I told you most of them have suffered from abuse and neglect? Then would you care? What if I told you many feel safer on the streets than they do at home? Now do you care? What if I told you I really need your help?
How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca to donate.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. Cloudy skies in downtown Toronto and 1 degree at Pearson. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm James Monroe.
I'm Suljana Timmins. Here are the top stories right now.
680 News is in Brampton tonight. A woman found dead following a house fire near Chinguacousy and Beauvert. Fire crews called to a home on Fireside Drive around 3 this afternoon. Cause of death not known. The Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association has announced its members will be engaging in a one-day province-wide strike Tuesday, January 21st. We're gathering reactions.
Next Tuesday.
Time for 680 Sports. The fan here is Rob Long.
Well, Jen, we'll start with the Toronto Maple Leafs, whose blue line took another big hit today. The team announcing that Morgan Riley will be out at least the next 6 weeks with a fractured foot. He suffered the injury against Florida after taking a puck off the skate. Rasmus Sandin was recalled from the Marlies today. Toronto home to New Jersey tomorrow. Well, on the same day, both were suspended for 1 year for their role in electronic sign stealing back in 2017. Astros manager A.J. Hinch and GM Jeff Lunau were both fired by owner Jim Crane, who says the decision was simple.
Neither one of them started this, but neither one of them did anything about it, and that's how we came to the conclusion.
Houston also loses their first and second round picks in 2020 and 2021 and are fined $5 million. Boston Red Sox manager Alex Cora was bench coach for Houston that year and played a major role in the sign stealing as well. Reports say that it is expected he will be disciplined as well. And the college football national championship.
I know we're not talking about, Kate Street West and stop and shit, but that's what it's making me think
45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 7:17.
During winter, some hibernate, but Nissan Winter Warriors revel in fresh snow, thrive underneath the cold and taking in everything.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't going to fucking play. I already marked.
Visit choosenissan.ca or your Nissan dealer. Conditions apply.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something bigger.
To show my kids what's important.
I joined to make my community stronger.
To make a difference in someone's life.
To acknowledge that our freedoms come at a cost.
I joined
This deadly crash here at Mavis and
my grandpa.
my neighbor.
Everyone who served.
More serving still. Honoring veterans is our duty. Join today at legion.ca/join.
680 News Time, 7:18.
The details are still being worked out, but the Queen has given her blessing to let Harry and Meghan move to Canada part-time.
The 93-year-old Queen, her son Prince Charles, his sons William and Harry were all in the same room at the Queen's estate in Sandringham. The BBC's Nicholas Mitchell says Her Majesty issued a statement after that meeting ended.
Although we would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family while remaining a valued part of my family.
The statement goes on to say it's been agreed there will be a period of transition in which the couple will spend time in Canada and the UK. Now, the biggest issue not yet sorted out is their security and who pays for it. Buckingham Palace says the Queen is determined to resolve the situation within days, not weeks. I'm Charlene Close.
Police now say the homicide squad is investigating after a woman died in a Scarborough apartment fire in the Warden Shepherd area. Firefighters called to the 18th floor of the apartment building on Bay Mills.
Yeah, 2 in
Boulevard
1 day.
Around 3 a.m. They found heavy smoke and flames filling one of the units, pulled a woman from the apartment. Police tell 680 News she died in hospital.
At this time, the investigation is considered a suspicious death, suspicious fire. And the reason is there's no obvious and immediate evidence to say how it is that this fire started.
The homicide squad is holding the scene until an autopsy can confirm the cause of death. Among the potential jurors in the rape trial of former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, a supermodel.
Hadid told a judge she thinks she would be able to keep an open mind on the facts. She was asked to return Thursday for more questioning. Hadid revealed that she met Weinstein and actress and potential witness Selma Hayek, but said she could remain impartial. She is part of the latest pool of 120 potential jurors summoned for the case. Harvey Weinstein is accused of raping a woman in Manhattan in 2013 and sexually assaulting another in 2006. He says any sexual activity was consensual. I'm Ed Donahue.
So again, that was supermodel Gigi Hadid. Traffic and weather together next.
680 news time, 7:20. Fashion question. Do socks and sandals ever go together? Glad you agree.
Only in
because
Canada.
our blow-off winter sale on Sun Vacations is going to blow your socks off. Right now, save big with sell-off pricing on all-inclusive vacations during our blow-off winter sale. Plus, score free resort upgrades exclusively from sell-off vacations. So don't get cold feet. Book now for savings that'll blow your socks off. Visit one of our 6 stores in the GTA.
The cold, savage winds are upon us, and only Hyundai can save us now.
Then let us ready the heated seats, heated steering wheels, and fully promote starters.
Don't fear winter, love it. From the warmth of a new Hyundai. During Mississauga and Rexdale Hyundai's iHeart Winter event, enjoy no-charge all-wheel drive or don't pay for 90 days on select models. Plus, existing owners get up to $750 in loyalty incentives.
Get the super deal from the super fan now.
Visit MississaugaHyundai.com and RexdaleHyundai.ca.
680 news time, 7:21.
Traffic and weather together on the ones, Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by AGMbasements.com. We've got problems on the northbound 410 north of the 407. HOV and 3 left lanes remain blocked with a collision here, causing a heavy jam up from approaching Derry to north of the 407. If you want to take an alternate, you can exit the highway at either Courtney Park or Derry, and then use Tompkin Road, and you can once again use Kennedy as well, as it looks like that problem at First Gulf Boulevard, just approaching Steeles, is cleared. So now either Tompkin to the east or Kennedy to the west, both work well as alternates. Take them at least as far as Steeles, and then you can rejoin the 410 northbound to avoid that delay. If you're traveling along the eastbound 401, still problems east of Kiel in the Express. The right lane is blocked with a collision. Cruise here. It's slow first Islington to the 400 Express, and then from east to the 400, both Express and Collectors to east of Kiel. Lighter in the Collectors, of course. We've got volume from about the Allen to Victoria Park Express and to east of Kennedy in the Collectors. That minor issue we had on the shoulder east of Victoria Park in the Express has cleared, so hopefully that'll help the volume through this stretch. Still in the process of easing. Westbound 401 busy here, Ontario in the Collectors to west of Mavis. If you're on the westbound Gardner, no major delays, just a bit slow through Jameson. And the westbound QEW is still seeing some volume by the Ford plant, but it's almost up to speed there. Routes into downtown, eastbound QE and Gardner, not bad. Just a bit of volume on the Gardner itself into the long-term construction. DVP northbound, delays north make that approaching Eglinton up to York Mills. 16th Avenue just a bit slow. Northbound 404 just a bit slow through 16th Avenue. South 404 Don Valley in pretty good shape. With a 4-year baseboard to baseboard warranty and financing options available, there's no excuse not to finish your basement this year. For a free quote, visit agmbasements.com. Your next report at 7:31 with the extended forecast. Here's Denise Andriacci.
Mostly cloudy with some fog patches tonight. Chance of flurries and patchy freezing drizzle. Chance of flurries and scattered rain showers Tuesday, highs near 3 degrees. May see some scattered flurries through the day on Wednesday near +3. Periods of snow for Wednesday night and maybe a trace to 2 centimeters, lows near -3. That's your overnight low tonight.
They told us all fucking year about how cold and bad this winter was going to
overcast and 2 degrees.
And it's 2 degrees.
Coming up the bottom of the hour,
Celsius.
fire near Chinguacousy
The
and
water is
Beauvais.
water,
Fire
not
crews
frozen.
called to the home on Fireside Drive around 3 this afternoon. Cause of death is being investigated. 680 News is in Brampton.
680 news time, 7:24.
Something's always coming up. Home improvements, kids' education, car repairs, credit card bills. Maybe you even saw a real deal on an investment property. Well, don't wait for the money to fall from the sky. Call Northwood Mortgage and start taking care of business. Use your home to save money. Pay off your mortgage faster. See why Canadians have turned to Northwood Mortgage for over a quarter of a century.
Northwood Mortgage.
Visit NorthwoodMortgage.com. License 10349.
680 News. Listen on the go with the Radio Player Canada app.
Download now on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather.
No matter where you are.
With the Radio Player Canada app and 680 News.
This is All News Radio 680 News. Well, the quack came back. The world's largest rubber duck returns to mark the 10th anniversary of the Redpath Waterfront Festival. The 6-story tall, 30,000-pound ducky will be here from June 19th to the 21st. It made a splash in 2017 when it was brought in to celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary. It attracted more than 750,000 people and drummed up more than $7.5 million for the city's economy. Now, how much will it cost Toronto? Well, they'll just put it on our bill. Business next. City News Time, 7:25.
There's winter, and then there's wind terror. Wind terror doesn't just bring rain, but freezing rain. Not just sleet, but the slushiest of sleet. And most of all, wind terror brings snow days, which means you have to take the kids into work. No! Make it stop! Bring on winter in a Subaru. Hurry in for great rates of 0.99% at your Ontario Subaru dealer.
You've been diagnosed with depression and can't work. Your disability insurer denies your claim and has never sent you to see a doctor. Think this can't happen? Think again. My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your long-term disability claim is denied for any reason, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, my lawyers only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at Pound LTD.
680 News Time, 7:26.
Now, 680 Business Report. Here is Richard Southern.
Good evening. Experts say Harry and Meghan could make an absolute fortune in no time at all. Analysts say the couple could easily earn more than 800 million Canadian in their first year of independence because they have a ready-made brand, which will be both ethical and luxury. They've already trademarked the Sussex Royal brand, including trademarking 100 items ranging from everything from notepads to socks. Experts say potential money-making areas include fashion, but also speaking engagements and even forming their own production company. Now, they say the Sussexes will most likely be a luxury brand on the level of Louis Vuitton and Burberry, though the two will have to be careful to balance their personal lives from a PR perspective to maintain all that.
No, you almost fucking violated.
Here's an interesting one. The first private billionaire to pay for a trip around the moon is looking for a girlfriend to go with them. SpaceX revealed 2 years ago the Japanese billionaire Yusaku Misawa had paid a big dollar sum for a slingshot around the moon and back. He planned to take 6 artists with him to inspire them to create art, but he also planned to take his girlfriend with him. The two, though, recently broke up. And so the 44-year-old has now launched an online appeal for a female life partner, as he puts it, to accompany him on the voyage, which is set for 2 years from now. Applicants are asked to provide their height, job, hobbies, special skill, selling points, and a photo of themselves. Well, stocks continue to shoot for the moon, particularly on Wall Street, where we saw new records today. The Dow up 83 points, 28,907. S&P up 22 to a record 3288. The Nasdaq up 95. The U.S. set to stop labeling China as a currency manipulator as the two countries signed their first phase trade pact. TSX up 58 points to 17,292. We have the price for gold trailing off, though. It was now to $1,550. Canadian dollar at 76.6 cents U.S. Top stories are next on 680 News.
I don't know.
On January 16th, the Today Showstopper at TSC will be your choice.
This is how fucked up Canada is. Our suicide rate is about 8 times what our homicide rate is. 8 to 1. Somebody gets killed and 8 more people kill themselves. This is Canada. It's cold up here and dark in the winter, man. It's something about that drives you a little crazy. Federal government asks Canadians to weigh in on medically assisted death law, because euthanasia is legal here. The federal government is asking Canadians to weigh in on who should be eligible for medical assistance in dying, MAID, made. I don't think that's a good word for that. And other aspects of the law. In the public consultation section of its website, the Department of Justice, DOJ, thank you, has posted a questionnaire offering, quote, Canadians the opportunity to share their views with the Government of Canada on this deeply personal and very important issue, end quote. The consultation was prompted by a Quebec Superior Court ruling in September 2019 on eligibility for MAID based on a person nearing the end of life. The case was brought forward by Mr. Truchon, who has lived with cerebral palsy since birth, and Miss Gladue, who has lived with paralysis and severe scoliosis as a result of poliomyelitis. Those who assessed the pair felt they met all the eligibility criteria for MAID except nearing the end of life. The court declared the, quote, reasonable foreseeability of natural death, end quote, criterion in the Federal Criminal Code, as well as the, quote, end of life, end quote, criterion in Quebec's provincial law on medical assistance in dying to be unconstitutional. The ruling will come into effect in March of this year, and while it only applies to Quebec, the DOJ says the Canadian government has accepted the ruling and is planning to change the MAID law for the entire country. I was looking at that, you motherfucker. Updating this law will expand eligibility for MAID beyond those who are nearing end of life. That opens it up to me. Thanks. MAID was legalized in 2016 with a full review set to be conducted 5 years later. The review is set to launch this summer, and the public consultation has been launched in the lead up to the review. Questions included in the online questionnaire surround things like the age at which one can request MAID and mental capacity at the time of the procedure. At the time of the procedure? How about at the time you make the decision? You should be all fucked up by the time you get to the procedure, man. The survey closes January 27th. Since assisted death was made legal in Canada, 6,700 Canadians who were suffering chose to die peacefully with the help of a medical professional. We're just killing people up here. And you can click here to find more information about eligibility criteria, process for obtaining MAID, and more. Thank you. Just give me a direct link to the suicide company. 1-800-SUICIDE. Hey, that's 7 digits. That would work. 1-800-SUICIDE. 784-2433. Click here to participate in the questionnaire. How come that link comes second? So 2016 to, so when in 2016 was it? So 17, 18, 19. About 2,000 people a year, no matter how you look at it. And the suicide rate, I've seen the numbers from the 90s was 3,900, 4,000, but the population was different. I mean, they don't release those numbers. They don't like to release those numbers. I don't know where to find them.
Here's Denise Andriachi.
Chance of flurries tonight.
Oh, and I'm supposed to have an opinion because I have suicide disease, and one out of 2 people that gets this shit kills themselves within 2 years of diagnosis. I've never felt like killing myself.
Tuesday, a few sunny breaks, highs near +3. Your overnight low tonight.
I felt like doing drugs, and when the doctors give me drugs, I feel much better.
Downtown Toronto, we've got an overcast sky, 2 degrees, 680 views, time 7:33.
It's not good.
Breaking news from Brampton, a terrible discovery following a house fire.
That's not breaking fucking news, eh?
680's Phil Martino joining us live from near Shinguzi and Beauvais.
I think you can use that for the first hour, but like,
well, Scott,
honestly,
firefighters were called to a home, a 2-story home, in the area of Fireside and Navy just after 3 this afternoon. Now, the fire chief here in Brampton, Bill Boyce, says the fire was knocked down quickly, but a woman was found dead inside the home.
So there was a 911 call made to the 911 center. Our crews were notified 2 minutes after 3, and we arrived here at 7 minutes after 3 this afternoon. So a quick response. The crews did a great job making entry and getting the fire extinguished very quickly.
I can walk to the fire station in 5 minutes. It takes them 22 minutes to get here.
Now, right now, there's still a lot of fire trucks on scene here. A lot of neighbors coming to have a look to see what's happened. This woman lives near the home.
Apparently the city came by and cut down some dead branches, and I thought somebody had hauled it into their house or in their backyard and was burning firewood, but apparently it was not.
Fire officials say they still don't know the cause of death. They don't know how much damage there is to the home. The Ontario Fire Marshal has been called in to investigate. Reporting live from Brampton, Phil Martino, 680 News.
680 News Time, 7:34. The Ford government plans on keeping the Pickering nuclear plant open past 2024. The news comes.
So this facility next door is going to get its license renewed too.
Yesterday, as
for another
residents
10
near
years.
the facility feeling
Watch.
nervous. 680's Karen Seolin is following this story and joins us live with more. Karen.
Caitlin, environmentalists have long called for closing Pickering's aging nuclear plant, but according to the Toronto Star, an extension was quietly approved by the Ford government late last year, and that could see the plant's life extended until at least 2025. Now, the Pickering site has 6 nuclear reactors that supply power to more than 1 million homes every day. And a new poll released today says there are concerns about safety for 77% of Canadians who live close to a nuclear plant. Of course, Sunday morning, you were probably woken up by an emergency alert warning of an unspecified incident at the Pickering plant that turns out was sent out by mistake. NDP energy critic Peter Taverns
But I own
wants
a bicycle, a
answers.
wristwatch, and a radio, so I found out
If
on
people
my own.
lose confidence in this system, the ability to use it when there is a real emergency will be impaired. That's dangerous.
The province's Solicitor General is promising an investigation will be quick. Reporting live, I'm Karen Seolin.
680 News Time, 7:36. The Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association says its members will be taking part in a one-day province-wide strike next week. 680's Mark Douglas has the details.
The government has left us with no choice.
This union had 2 days of talks with the province at the end of last week, but the English Catholic teachers say they heard nothing worthwhile from the other side of the table. Union President Liz Stewart.
I'm announcing today that Ontario's Catholic teachers will be implementing a province-wide, one-day full withdrawal of services on Tuesday, January 21st.
The one-day strike by all 45,000 Ontario English Catholic teachers will affect more than 500,000 students and comes in addition to their Work to Rule campaign. Education Minister Stephen Lecce quick to point out the strike decision was announced only 5 hours into that campaign. He spoke with reporters earlier in the day.
Further escalation is not going to help get a deal. It's going to frustrate the process.
From the downtown Sheraton Centre, I'm Mark Douglas.
680 News Time, 7:37. Canadian investigators with the Transportation Safety Board on the ground in Iran tonight, getting access to the black boxes of the Ukrainian Airlines flight, which crashed, killing 57 Canadians.
The world deserves to know how and why.
And remember, Boeing stock went down, and when we found out it was a missile, it went back
The
up.
Transportation Safety Board. While it's too early to say what Canada's role will be in this multinational probe, Fox says the Iranian government, which is leading the investigation, will be giving Canadian investigators more access than is normally required by letting them examine the wreckage and the black boxes.
To provide technical expertise regarding the download and analysis of the recorders.
Investigators are hoping to answer questions like, did the plane actually veer off its flight path as the Iranians say? If the TSB is not happy with the process or the findings, Fox promises to speak out. Consular officials will also be in Iran to identify victims and help return them to their families. When it comes to getting answers, though, unfortunately, the TSB warns it could take years to complete the investigation. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill. Meantime, the founder of Paramount Fine Foods is spearheading a national fundraising campaign to help people who lost loved ones in the Iran plane crash. Mohammed Faki says he'd like to raise $1.5 million to help cover funeral costs for those victims. Dubbed Canada Strong, the campaign will be overseen by a charitable fund that also raised money for the families of victims of the North York van attack.
They leave behind the children, spouses, colleagues, and friends who need your support during this life-altering period. If there was ever a time, the time is now.
All 176 people on board were killed when the Ukraine International Airlines flight was mistakenly shot down near Tehran last week. 57 of the dead were Canadian citizens.
Mistaken. We're going to own your asses. I swear, somehow we are
Well,
going
the
to
big
get you for
quack
this shit.
is making a return to the city's waterfront.
You need that uranium for your nuclear program, don't you? I know where that comes from.
To
I
mark
don't
the
think we should
10th
sell it to you.
anniversell of the Red Path Waterfront
I think we should
Festival.
kill anybody
The
that does
world's
sell it to you.
largest
That's my
rubber
opinion.
duck is floating
That's just
back
my
this
opinion.
summer. The 6-story tall, 30,000-pound duck will be here from June 19th to 21st.
I think that was an act of war, and we should move in and then just take what we want from
to
you.
celebrate Canada's
If you have any
150th
uranium, we're going
anniversary,
to take that.
attracting more than
That's what I
750,000
think.
people
But I'm not in
and
charge of
drumming
the
up
army
more
here,
than
so you have to
$7.5
talk to
million
Mr. Drama teacher,
for the
Justin
city's
Trudeau, and ask him.
economy. In 30 seconds, we'll check
His
out
boys haven't even landed there yet.
My New Year's resolutions? Eat healthy, spend more time together. Oh, and pick up the kids on time.
What about snorkeling, flying trapeze, water skiing, and fine dining?
I'd love that, but it takes so much planning.
All you have to do is relax, honey. It's all included at Club Med.
I'm already unwinding.
Let's upgrade our New Year's resolutions. 7-night air-inclusive, starting at $16.49 per adult. Book by January 15th with your travel professional or at clubmed.ca.
Now the 680 News gas price update. EnPro predicts the price will not change at midnight, holding at $1.15.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather is next.
680 News Time, 740.
Listen up. Lazy Boy is completely overstocked and they need to move furniture fast. It's music to my ears. I hear there's crazy amounts of everything in the store. They're so desperate to move inventory and make room for all their new items that everything's priced to go. Hurry. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Live life comfortably, Lazy Boy.
Don't pay until 2021 during the inventory overstock sell-off at 9 GTA stores plus Kitchener.
Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe tomorrow's goals feel so far away. What if we told you that maybe you're closer than you think? That a simple conversation can spark something amazing. Your savings and investments can stand for so much more when they don't stand still. And Scotiabank can help every step of the way. Energize your investing. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
680 News Time, 741.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Kyle Hawking.
And this report is brought to you by A&W Restaurants. A couple of issues on the highways. First, on the eastbound 401, east of Keele and the Express, the right lane is blocked with a collision. So it is slow. It's not bad first heading towards the 400 now, but east of the 400, busy to east of Keele. Both Express and Collector lanes slow through here, although the problem is in the Express. Then we've got volume past this, Avenue Express and east of Young Collectors to Leslie, and from the DVP to Victoria Park Express and to east of Kennedy in the Collectors. Westbound 401, no major delays across the city, and it's not too bad into Mississauga any longer either. If you're traveling the northbound 410, still in the process of clearing out after earlier problems. I expect minor delays as you approach Steeles up towards Williams Parkway now. If you're traveling the southbound 427, got a call from a traffic spotter about some debris. Southbound 427 approaching Finch, the left lane affected with a large water container of some sort. I've notified the MTO about that. And also on the southbound Don Valley Parkway, approaching the Gardner, the right lane is now blocked with Toronto Transportation.
There won't be a garage.
There's
Maybe
a
it'll be like
vehicle
a
on the
fridge
shoulder
door.
just being hooked up to a tow truck. Not much of a delay through there, but watch out for the crews.
Something with
The
a door.
A&W Mama Burger is just $2.50 right now, which is kind of like high-fiving your taste buds and bank account at the same time. Visit A&W today. Your next report at
If I
7:51,
try
and
to
with the
take
forecast,
250
here's
out of my
Denise
bank account, it's
Andriacci.
not going to
Some
return the
patchy
high
fog
five.
and patchy freezing drizzle possible tonight with a few flurries scattered in there. A wind chill tonight near -8. Chance of flurries or some scattered rain showers Tuesday. Highs near +3. A few sunny breaks in the afternoon. 0 and a chance of flurries for Tuesday night. Your overnight low tonight, -3.
Downtown Toronto, overcast and 2 degrees. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time, 743.
The clock is ticking down on the race to replace Conservative leader Andrew Scheer. Nominations formally open today. Potential candidates need $300,000 each and 3,000 party member signatures. The vote is happening on June 27th.
I think that's how Hitler started,
This is
man. I
680
swear.
News.
Do you suffer from CRA mail anxiety? Does the sight of a brown envelope make you sweat? Are the envelopes piling up? Don't know where to start? We do at Mark Feldstein and Associates. We deal with this every day. It's time to take control and start sleeping at night. Call Mark Feldstein and Associates, chartered accountants now at Pound Tax. That's the # tax. Or visit markfeldstein.ca. So the next time you see a brown envelope, think Pound Tax.
You're all bundled up.
Yeah, well, it is -17,700.
No way that's right.
Says right here, get 25% off MSRP for up to $17,700 in total discounts on select brand 1500 classic models. Plus, we make no payments for 90 days.
Oh, I see. Minus 17,700.
There you go.
I'll grab my coat.
I can't believe that worked.
It's the Ram 4x4 winter event. See dealer for details.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It is partly cloudy, +1. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Caitlin Lee.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories this hour.
A woman has been found dead following a house fire in Brampton. Crews called to the home around 3 o'clock this afternoon near Chincousy and Beauvert. It's unclear at this point what caused the blaze. Premier Doug Ford has quietly extended the life of the Pickering nuclear plant beyond 2024. This, as a recent poll finds 77% of Canadians are concerned about being located near these facilities.
And they're can-do reactors with containment buildings. And it's fucking, that's how badly they run this shit. You don't want it here.
You have to see it in person, and I guess I'll get a chance. The world's largest rubber duck returning to Toronto's waterfront this summer. 680 News Time, 7:45.
Can we pop a hole in it? Please.
Now time for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Good evening, Rob Long.
Good evening, Caitlin. The injuries continue to pile up for the Maple Leafs, who today found out that Morgan Rielly will miss at least the next 8 weeks with a fractured foot suffered in last night's game against Florida. Take his spot, Rasmus Sandin was recalled from the Marlies as the Maple Leafs will host New Jersey tomorrow night. Meantime, Edmonton Oilers forward Zach Kassian has been suspended 2 games for his altercation with Calgary's Matthew Tkachuk the other night against the Calgary Flames. On the ice tonight, we do have the Flames taking on the Montreal Canadiens, and right now it is the Habs on top 1-0 late in the first. Elsewhere,
Rangers a catch from Jordan Eberle, and he puts it in. 18 seconds into the game.
Jordan Eberle getting things started for the Islanders, but the Rangers have since responded 1-1 right now between the teams from New York. Elsewhere, the Bruins lead the Flyers 1-0, and Alex Ovechkin has his 27th goal of the year as the Capitals lead the Hurricanes 1-0. Major League Baseball concluded their investigation regarding the Houston Astros sign stealing in 2017, and today suspended manager A.J. Hinch and GM Jeff Luhnow for 1 year. Shortly after, Astros owner Jim Crane fired both men for their role. The Astros are also forfeiting their first and second round picks in 2020 and 2021 and are fined $5 million. And the College Football National Championship goes tonight at 8 o'clock. Clemson taking on LSU. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or any time on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 7:47.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Sure.
It says, Canadian crash investigators set to land in Tehran to aid in crash probe. So this is today. Oh, for fuck's sakes, come on. Foreign Affairs Minister Francois Philippe, I only found one piece of information in here they didn't already tell us, but Foreign Affairs Minister Francois Philippe Champagne says Canada's air crash investigators will be, quote, fully in place, end quote, in Toronto tonight, and other experts may be dispatched as needed to help with the fallout from last week's deadly crash. They keep throwing that word around. From last week's deadly crash of Ukraine International Airlines flight PS752. The Transportation Safety Board provided an update on its work Monday afternoon, saying that 2 investigators are en route to Iran. TSB Chair Kathy Fox assured Canadians they will continue to advocate for a full explanation about what happened and why. Its investigators are seeking access to the plane's flight data recorders, known as the black boxes, thank you, to help with the investigation being led by Iran's Civil Aviation Authority. Iran has invited Canadian investigators to take part in the download and examination of flight recorder data. I want to know where those fucking boxes are right now. Fox said the TSB will deploy a second team of investigators with expertise in aircraft recorder download and analysis. Iran admitted over the weekend that there's no transparency, man. Iran admitted over the weekend that one of its own, no apostrophes either, its own missiles took down the Boeing 737-800, but called it a horrible mistake. All 176 on board were killed, including 138 people who were headed for Canada. Champagne tweeted Monday afternoon that all visas had been approved for investigators and Canadian consular officials who are helping grieving families. Fuck you. You should have sent, just a convoy of planes. And if they said, no, you can't land, you should have landed anyway. So I would have done it. Let them shoot. We shoot back. Earlier Monday, Canadian Jewish and Iranian organizations reiterated their demands for the federal government to list Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist entity. This is the part I didn't know about. Doing so would remove a legal obstacle and enable Canadian victims to sue the Iranian government under the Justice for Victims of Terrorism Act. So we're going to get you somehow. Money. We're going to take your money, motherfuckers. What do you need money for? You don't need money. Fuck you. Everything you want to buy is things we don't want you to have. Everything you sell is things we could just fucking make somewhere else. So I don't see why you need money.
The CDC says there have been 9.7 million flu cases in the U.S. this season, with
Let them send somebody here to do something to me. Watch what happens.
Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In 60 seconds, we'll check the roads as well as your extended forecast.
680 News Time, 7:50.
Mom, Dad, come outside. There's
Cheers,
a camera crew on our
motherfuckers.
driveway holding a giant check for $1 million.
Oh, do we have to?
It's kind of cold out.
I'll frigid.
Not everything is worth rushing out of bed for this new year, but Sleep Country's Boxing Week sale is. Plus, start the year off right with incredible prices on duvets, pillows, sheets, and more. And get a Hot Buy Queen mattress with built-in cooling gel technology, just $369. But hurry in store or online.
I see nothing else interesting, but I found it interesting we had 2 suspicious fires with dead people in them today.
Every day in Canada, 3,000 mortgages renew. Mortgage
Check
rates
that
are
out.
falling. Important announcement. If your mortgage renews in the next 90 days, contact butlermortgage.ca. 2.3